Okay, this fight is a convoluted mess. I will try to be as concise as I can in explaining what to do. Long story short, you must bring the story support Nitocris, and she must be in the front row. I'm also bringing the story support Jalter. She's strong enough to get the job done, and everyone has access to her. However, this is easier if you bring something like this or this. And you can just focus on Nitocris and win this fight. It'll just take longer. As for the stage gimmicks, you have this debuff that after 10 turns will insta-death you, and it will gain time or lose time based on what you do with the second debuff. Also, I think you lose time if you kill the ghosts and skeletons on your own. If you attack them, you'll insta-death faster. So just ignore them completely. As for this other debuff, it cycles every 2 turns, and which one you get is random. The one I'm starting off with here is don't kill any enemies for 2 turns. So for 2 turns, I don't kill anybody. I will get healed, it will skill seal the boss, and it will kill the ads, and give me more time on the insta-death. So if you follow this restriction 1 or 2 times at the start, you'll have so much time on the insta-death, you can just ignore the gimmicks and just use whatever you want whenever you want, and you'll win. And now to cover the debuffs real quick, you have don't kill an enemy for 2 turns. You have don't use an NP for 2 turns. That one is an icon of the sword hilt. And then there is a icon of a hollow circle, which is don't use servant skills. But you can cast the servant skills before the buff switches over, and they'll linger through it, and it doesn't matter. And you can still use your Mystic Code skill, etc., etc. Ultimately, the don't NP one, you can just bring a damage dealer that does good normal card damage and ignore that, no problem. The don't kill enemies one, you don't want to kill them anyway, so who cares? And the don't use a skill one is the only annoying one, which later in the fight, you can just ignore it and cast your skills anyway if it's an important turn. And early on, you can try to weather the damage you take from like the Mystic Code heal and that kind of thing. So it's not that big of a deal. And I really do have to stress that later in the fight, you can just ignore it if it's at a bad time. So all you have to worry about is focus completely on killing Nitocris, do normal card damage when you've got the don't NP one, and just ooga booga. And then just make sure you can survive Nitocris's AoE NP a few times, and the fight will be over. Now, real quick, I do make a mistake in this video. I use my Nitocris's team-wide evade on turn 1 to protect Jalter when I taunt her, and I taunt her to get NP from being attacked, because the story support Jalter doesn't have battery, and I'm not using Waver or anything strong like that. Which is fine, but what I should have done was saved the evade in case I needed it for the boss's NP, and I should have just used Qingong's second skill, and that would have been fine. Where I don't cast his second skill at all, and I just evade, and you'll see that I get unlucky, and Jalter gets attacked over and over and over and over, and I end up having to use her invulnerability early, so when the boss goes to NP, she doesn't have it, and she dies. Now, I can win anyway, and it's not a big deal, because keeping Nitocris alive here is really easy. But Nitocris is slower, so I could have won the fight a lot faster if I had just saved Nitocris's team-wide evade, so just keep that in mind. As for the team, honestly, it doesn't even matter that much. Just don't stall. Stalling is really bad in this fight. So bring supports that give you damage up and that kind of thing, and just focus on killing as fast as possible. Or bring damage dealers that are self-reliant and can just show up, do their NP or big crits or whatever, and then just die and cycle into another damage dealer. If you just go pure Ooga Booga in this fight, you're going to win before you run out of time. It's just not that hard of a fight if you focus on killing. The one thing to note, I would say, is your first support here, if you're going to bring a support, it's good for them to have a defense up skill or something like that. So if you have Waver, that's really good. That's certainly better than Qingong. None of the units I'm bringing here actually really matter. You don't have to use any of these specifically. I would just try to bring supports that have some defensive ability and offensive ability to help you win the fight faster and then keep your units alive. Or just damage dealers, like I said earlier, that are self-reliant. All right, well, that's it. Enjoy the video.
なさい我が竜よ。
自爆しかありますまい。
マスター了解了解。剣は憎悪、竜は復讐、炎は王鵬。差し貫くは何もかもラグロンドメント・デュヘイン。燃え尽きなさいな。そこから先命の行き止まりよ。どうしてくれようか。
なんの単純いけませんね。加減なくそれが望みなら了解了解。このように攻めるのです。
そうやっそうか。いい子だ。罪に罰、罪の炎である。それが望みなら選択を。そうかそうかそう邪魔だわ。罪に罰、水よ。よしよし。吠えなさいバブニール。幸福の時はこれは憎悪になって磨かれた我が魂の方向ラグロンドメント・デュヘイン。燃え尽きなさいな。炎の中でさまようがいい。死と夜、燃え尽きよ。
出直していらっしゃい。
死、冥府。これより先は死の領域。それが罪に罰を、死には導きを。その罪計り知れず我が連れて行こう。彼方へシュッ。アヌビス様か。不敬には罰を。罪に罰を、死には導きを。その罪計り知れず我が連れて行こう。彼方へ。炎が消えちゃったか。
火力が足りませんでした。
ホルツ。そうか。死、冥府。どうしてくれましょう。私に力を。守りでしょう。混合鉄壁チャリオット・オブ・ヴィニカス。ネヘルス・エン・アヌビス。よいしょ。そう水よ。何 れが望みなのだ。ああ、ないで。燃え尽きよ。アヌビス様、勝利よ、ここに。
いいともいいとも。
先は死。
I'll break you in two.
忠告も警告もしたんだけどね。改める機会だよ。アメシュアマニム。
今こそ罪の最高ネフェルース・エン・アヌビス。どうしてくれよう。翼よ。罪に罰。よしよし。これより先、それが望みなのだ。罪に罰、死には導き。その罪計り知れず、我ら連れて行こう。彼方へ。
お疲れ様。